How are you going to design that QC process? Next tough question. Which of these products can be released to the customer before verifying it meets customer specifications and regulated standards? The glucose tolerance drink you gave to the patient, the reagent you used, the standards you used to calibrate, the linearity or trueness samples you used at method validation, your QC samples, the proficiency result, the patient result. When was it established that it is okay to report lab results before checking the QC? They manufacture all of these on a continuous basis, but they don't ship them to the patient until they've checked the QC. And that is a reasonable question that patients and society might come in and ask. These guys might want a 0% risk. We used to bracket QC runs. We used to test the controls and say the control is okay. We would run the patients in the QC. After we checked the QC at the end, then we would report the patients. We bracketed the run. We would bracket the next run. We would report the patients. In the next run, if the QC was unacceptable, we would not report the patients. 0 risk, as long as you're sure you can detect that error immediately. The principle of testing QC samples is that measuring system failures that would negatively influence the testing of patient samples also affect the results obtained with the QC samples for many, but importantly not all, failure modes. If you are testing QC samples, the assumption is they mirror the patients. If you don't know that they mirror the patients, A, why are you testing them? And B, how do you know your patients are okay? The fact that your controls must mirror the patient is one of the givens in establishing your QC process. What we do now, the analytical process creates the patient and QC results, we report them, we check the QC. We create results, report results, check the QC. Now we get a QC reject, but what if the method actually failed way back here? At the least, the ability of QC procedures to detect medically allowable error should be evaluated. How you do QC drives potential risk. This is the survey that a few of you took, and it reflected very much this. Everybody picks and chooses their mean SD and QC rules in a different way. There are not 192 right ways to do quality control. There is one recommended way to do QC. But everybody does it differently because you've never been asked to prove before that it works. The OPTIMUM QC process is a calculation. It's not an opinion. We asked people for this, some of you went and took the survey now, and the measured mean from a single recent time period is what is recommended for your QC chart. That's the number in black. When you get to the assigned SD, either of these will do, but still less than half of the people are doing what's recommended, and it's the same thing. For years now, you should modify the QC rules to match each test depending on its performance, and less than half the people do that. Wrong is wrong, even if everybody is doing it, and right is right, even if you're the only one.